see me okay or not too close, too far?
Hey, that's perfect, man. Perfect.
Okay, very good.
Well, I wanted to get it all started with welcoming you on our show. And how did it all start for you as a kid? How did you get involved with football?
Yeah, I grew up in Black Mountain, North Carolina. My dad, he ran camps for boys and girls called Camp Ridgecrest and Crest Ridge. It was a camp full of basketball and two square and four square and canoeing and rafting and hiking mountains and all those kind of things, and archery, horseback. I grew up in sports, and so I loved it. My mom, she was a high school principal. She coached basketball herself, and so I just loved playing sports. And I played football, baseball, basketball, and was involved in everything. My dad coached me on all those youth teams and all those kind of things, and that's kind of the beginning of it. And I was always with someone older, and I always had a ball in my hand, just kind of playing.
I hear you, man. Hey, we're in the same the state, man. I'm from North Carolina, also in Charlotte.
Okay.
I'm from
Yeah, okay.
Morganton originally, so
Okay.
that's why that North Carolina thing. Your high school. Why was that high school that stood out to you? Charles D. Owen, I believe it was.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I went to Owen High School. There's two towns that put together made the high school. It's called Black Mountain and Swannanoa.
Yes, sir.
And at our high school, at Owen High School, the player that was really known before me was a guy named Brad Doherty. Brad, he ended up playing he was an All-American out of high school. Played basketball for Dean Smith at North Carolina, was an All-American there, and then played a bunch of years in the NBA, was a six-time All-Pro NBA player. A coach that was at my high school was Roy Williams, who was the basketball coach at North Carolina at one point. And then my high school coach was Bill Burrows. And so we grew up Tar Heel fans. I grew up a Bobby Crimmins fan. In high school, if we had the lead, we'd run the four corners and those kind of things. But I love, I call it War Horse Pride is where I was at. And it's pretty cool my experience at Owen High School.
Definitely. What are some of your favorite moments from that high school, man?
Yeah, we were pretty much a basketball school at that time. And football, we kind of struggled. I'm going to be honest with you, we struggled. And I actually quit football my senior year. All my focus was going to be into basketball. I thought I was going to be a college or want to be an NBA kind of player. I ended up being the 3A Player of the Year in North Carolina my senior year, and loved it. And but I think just the friendships that we had, all the guys on the team, just any high school memories that you would have or anybody else, we shared the same moments and stuff. And we made it to the quarterfinals or semifinals every year in basketball, and didn't quite reach our goal as far as winning state championships, but the work ethic and just the passion for the game, we all had it as just a tight group of friends.
Definitely. So scrolling forward in your sports journey, how did Florida State come out and try to recruit you, man? The Seminoles.
Yeah, no doubt. It was really an interesting story. I really wanted to play basketball. I mean, I never missed a day of basketball from my second grade all the way through my freshman year of college. And the guy that I really wanted to play for was a guy named Bobby Crimmins at Georgia Tech. I grew up going to his summer camps all the time. And on my recruiting trip there, he said, Brad, you got a scholarship here to come to Georgia Tech, but you only play 5 guys. And the guy that's going to be in front of you is a guy named Dennis Scott. Dennis Scott was a 11-year NBA player for the Orlando Magic. And he changed my life because I ended up choosing football because of him. but Bobby Crimmins, he said, Brad, what do you want to do? He's like, I told him I want to, obviously I want to be successful in college, but I'd like to be, have a chance to make it to the professional level. He's like, what level do you think you have the most potential in? I said, well, I'm a better basketball player now because I spent all my time into it, but I think I have more potential in football as a quarterback. And at that time, the prototypical quarterback was a guy named Vinny Testaverde at University of Miami.
Yes, sir.
He ended up winning the Heisman, wore number 14. That's why I wore 14. And I told Vinny that a bunch of times. And so because of Dennis Scott at Georgia Tech I wouldn't get to play. Bobby Crimmins being honest with me. And then Florida State was an up-and-coming program. They sold me on the fact of being a tall quarterback, that I'd have a chance to grow and reach all my dreams there at Florida State.
Yes, sir. So scrolling a little bit forward in your career at Florida State, your senior year, what stood out about that year, standing or scrolling a little bit forward to being a part-time starting quarterback with Casey Weldon, the Heisman second? He's a Heisman finalist. How did did that affect your confidence?
Yeah. I was a late bloomer in football. I spent all my life, I keep talking about basketball, but I spent that much time playing basketball. I actually played 2 years of basketball at Florida State. And so I was starting my junior year. They decided to bench me for my best friend, Casey Weldon. And the coach that benched me was now my brother-in-law, Mark Rick. So it's kind of cool, round story. But Casey came in. He played fabulous. I didn't do anything wrong. Had a winning record. Was putting up good numbers, but they felt like they're trying to make a change. And so Casey had an outstanding, especially senior year. We were number one in the country for the first 11 weeks of the season before we had everybody members of the wide right. And otherwise, Casey would have won the Heisman if we'd have won those games. So, but I only played one game my senior year, and I had to make a choice. Am I going to transfer? Am I going to go play basketball and just quit football? Am I just going to ride it out? Or am I going to quit in general, just be done? So there were a lot of decisions to be made, but it goes back to my passion. It goes back to my dream of reaching the next level, of being a late bloomer. And I said, I'm going to work as hard as I can. So I only started one game that year, but I actually got invited to the NFL Combine. And at the NFL Combine, I thought I was the best quarterback there of all 20 quarterbacks. But every general manager and every coach didn't think that. As a 9th-round pick, 227th pick in the draft, 92 draft. But I was fortunate enough, there was a guy that recruited me in high school, and his name was Jack Burns out of the University of Louisville. And Jack at that time became the offensive coordinator at Minnesota Vikings, who drafted me. He kept up with my career the whole time, knew I was kind of a dominant, rough kind of guy, and kind of knew who I was. So that's kind of the story.
This concludes our episode today, folks. We greatly appreciate the support. And if you're not a subscriber yet, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get all our up-to-date content. And if you like this video, hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it.